Hello. Well, happy Saturday, everybody. I'm joining you here today for a little dry shampoo second day hair conversation. Give me 1 second to make sure A, I'm live in the right space, and B, yay, I'm in the right space to share it on my page. Oh. Thank you for your patience. I think it'll collect. Hopefully it's letting people know, as well as I can let people know I'm live in that group. Check it out. Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So, happy Saturday. I hope this Saturday is finding you all well and healthy in upstate New York. It's kind of rainy and blah. But it's fall. It's Halloween's coming up. We're rainy and it's, 50 something out. We've had a great September, great weather. So, I feel like we can't really complain. So, I mentioned a while back, and I apologize, I haven't been as active in this posting and doing lives in this group as my full intentions were. So I'm hoping to rectify that moving forward and visit with you guys more often. Thank you for your patience. But I mentioned a while back about dry shampoo and who's used it and who hasn't, who likes it, who doesn't. And I figured it would be a great time to visit and to connect with that. I had a few minutes on this nice rainy Saturday, so I figured I'd connect with you about dry shampoo. One of my favorite dry shampoos, of course, is from the Euphoria line. They have a dry shampoo. Admittedly, I was never a dry shampoo user. I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't really like the concept of it. I felt like it was old school, didn't work with my style, my scalp's too greasy, that kind of stuff. But there's some different uses for dry shampoo for those everyday washers that you can still use the dry shampoo for that we'll go over. As well as, in order to talk about dry shampoo, I do feel like we need to talk about second day hair. So we'll start off by talking about second day hair, and we'll start off by talking about and incorporate different ways that you can use this dry shampoo throughout your day, or throughout your weekly regimen for styling. Okay, so second day hair. Second day hair kind of gets a bad rap because it's just kind of difficult for some people to wake up with. Like me, when I wake up in the morning, I really look like Kramer. It's, Kramer from Seinfeld, the crazy hair. It's a bit crazy. And it's not something that I can just run a comb through and have it fall back into place. So that second day hair is a completely different concept for me than somebody that actually is able to get up and just kind of run their hands through the hair, put it back in place, and let it settle. So it's completely okay. If you're not a second day hair wearer, if you feel like it's just not an option for you, it doesn't work for you, you like a fresh hair, fresh scalp every day, that's completely fine. Especially if you're using the right products to protect your color. But if you want to get into a little bit of second day hair and explore it, then there's some options for you. If you're able to wake up and you feel like you don't have to do a whole lot to your style, just maybe comb it or edit it a little bit, maybe pull out a curling iron and curl it just a little bit, without it being washed and having to completely restyle it, then that's great. Dry shampoo can help you add that a little bit of that texture. It can help you absorb just a little bit of that grease at the scalp and kind of support that need. But if you find second day hair, you're not able to just edit your style and move forward, that you need to restyle some form or another, you can do that as well. When you're in the shower, instead of shampooing, conditioning again, try rinsing your hair. Don't shampoo it, don't condition it, just rinse your hair out, get it wet, and style like you usually do. It doesn't mean that you're rewashing it, so you can still protect the color. You can still work on not stripping the hair of all its natural oils by just rinsing it in the shower as opposed to shampooing it every day. So let me back up a little bit. Why would we not want to shampoo our hair every day? What's the purpose of second day hair? Why is this whole not shampooing my hair every day beneficial for me? It can be beneficial in two ways. Depending on your texture, it could be beneficial in multiple ways. When we don't shampoo our hair every day, our color lasts longer. And a lot of the colors nowadays, like the reds and the coppers and the fashion colors, the more silvers and the pastels and the pinks and the purples, those all last longer the less you shampoo. So if you're able to go a couple of days or even shampoo every other day or shampoo every third day, your color is going to last longer. It's going to wash out less. It's just a logistic of certain colors. The more bold, the more vibrant the color, the easier it's going to fade out because it doesn't sit at those natural levels, which is something to think about when you're choosing your colors. If you wash your hair every day and you don't want to have to worry about that color transition, then you might want to stick a little bit closer to your natural realm. So also, besides color fading and helping color last, when you stop in, talk to me, and we will discuss products that you can use on a daily basis to protect your color's longevity so that the washing every day then becomes an option. So we'll have a discussion of that. Okay, so other reasons for second day hair. Second day hair works great for people who have a tendency to have real dry ends. If you have a tendency to have dry ends, or your ends get real frizzy or real fluffy easily, that second day, trying to reconnect. Am I still there? Can you still hear me? It paused for a minute. So the second day hair can leave a little bit of that natural oil in there. And it doesn't necessarily wash away all that natural oil and wash away all of that conditioning agent that you put in there, and can leave it in there for another day so that when you shampoo every second or third day, you can take care of the dry ends a little bit more. As well as certain textures of hair, like curly hair. A lot of times, coarser or curly hair works better when you don't shampoo it every day. There are certain hair textures that are naturally dry and naturally coarse that actually they like their hair better on the second or third day because it's helping to calm down that natural frizzy coarseness that happens when you shampoo. There's also shampoos to help to give you that second day feel without necessarily not washing every day. But that's for another day. So curly hair. Curly hair is really kind of neat because sometimes curly hair has more definition when you don't shampoo it every day. When you shampoo it, you're really you're stripping the oils away and you're really taking that extra time to shampoo each hair, and then each hair is fresh and clean and doing its own thing. With curly hair, a lot of times those curls they're like girls, they like to be left alone with their friends. So when you clump your curls, the hairs together, you get more of a defined curl. And that second day hair does that naturally, adds that natural definition to that curly hair. So a lot of curly hair clients like that second day hair because they feel like their curl sets into place easier. It has a little bit of a natural frizz control with those natural oils that are there. So it has a little bit ease in styling. And when you're working with curly hair, remember on that second day, you don't have to work through. Sorry. I had a phone call. I didn't know how to X out of it. So when you're working with curly hair with second day hair, it's completely okay as you go through the shower, you rinse your hair out, then go through and style like you usually do. Just don't shampoo and condition. And you can put a little bit of product on the hair, but remember, you have a lot of that product from yesterday still, so don't add a ton of product. Couple of rules of thumb with second day hair is it's not going to feel like fresh scalp clean on your scalp. When you get done with that shampoo, your scalp feels fresh and open and rejuvenated. When you're rinsing your hair out and you're putting your hands through your hair that second day when you're not shampooing, it's going to feel a little different to you than that first day hair. That's okay. Work through that. Tell yourself it's going to feel different. I'm going to try it. Try it on a Sunday when you don't have anything to do. Once you're done rinsing your hair out real well, when you get out of the shower, that's when you can bring in your dry shampoo. Once you've rinsed your hair in the shower and you've towel dried it, you can spray just a little bit of the dry shampoo in at the root. It has a nice misting feel, and I like this one. I wish there was Feel-O-Vision. I like this one because it feels like a little bit of that dry texture that we like in a dry shampoo without being real heavy. I personally like a spray-on dry shampoo because I feel like I get a better control with it, and I feel like there's less, I don't get too much. So when you get out of the shower, after you've done your rinsing, then you can go through and spray it in at the root to help to give that root a little bit of that dry texture. Then go through and style like you usually do. Remember, anytime you use products on second day hair, always use less or even try it without products. So does that make sense? I feel like we're trying to cover the gamut of why you'd want to do second day hair. If you feel like you have curly hair and you want a little more definition to your hair, try some second day hair and give it a good try. Give it a good week or so of trying every day. And if you try after a couple times to do second day hair, you shampoo one day, you don't the second, you shampoo the third day. If you try that a couple times, like, it's not for me, I don't want it, that's completely fine. Walk away and know that you're an everyday shampooer, and that's completely okay. But different textures like curl and coarseness or dry frizzy ends, or if you do have, like you've gone through and you created that beachy wavy style on your hair and it's like bob length or longer, and it's like, I'm really liking my hair, that's completely okay to leave it and not even rinse it. Just leave it dry. Put it back into place. Edit the curls with a curling iron a little bit. Maybe work a little bit of the dry shampoo through your hair a little bit so that you can get a little bit of that volume and texture, especially if your hair's fine. That'll help to give it just a little bit of that natural fluff. As well as people with real long hair, it's a chore to wash their hair every day. So something like this might help them to give a little bit of ease in their style. Does that make sense? Am I making sense to everybody? Anybody have any questions about second day hair? Anybody have any experiences with second day hair? I know for myself, I have a little bit more of an oily scalp. So I can't go over 2 days without shampooing because I witness feeling like I have a greasy scalp. Does the rest of the world see it? No, probably not. But I don't feel my freshest. But when I started doing second day hair, I found in the shower while I was rinsing it, I felt like it was not clean at all. But when I got out of the shower and I would start styling it, I felt like it felt clean still. It felt fresh. Maybe not just shampooed fresh, but it still felt pretty clean and pretty fresh. And I found when I got more used to that I actually got so that I could do a second day hair without rinsing on occasion, depending on how I styled it the first day. So feel free to share in the comments below what you feel about second day hair, what your experiences were, and if this helps with encouraging you to try it a little bit. So let's talk about dry shampoo. Some of the best ways I feel to use the dry shampoo, you can use it, lift up your hair, and kind of spray it inside your hair to help to give it a little bit of texture and a little bit of style. You can spray it. I would recommend for this particular one, in most of the dry shampoos, to spray it within the style, but don't feel you have to spray it directly at the root. And to understand, a dry shampoo is not going to give you, see, now I'm messing with my crazy little wingdings. One thing to remember is that dry shampoo is never going to give you that fresh scalp feel. And the sprays that mist, like the Euphora, those are going to assist you with giving you a little bit of texture, maybe giving you a little bit of oil absorption, whereas sometimes the ones that puff, you want to go cautiously with those, or the ones that sprinkle on, because you can get that powdery look at your scalp. A mist like this, you don't necessarily get that. You can mist it in. So try it out, see if it helps to absorb a little bit of the oil without too much. So different ways that you can use dry shampoo. Obviously, we talked about you can use it on the second day for either fresh hair that you haven't shampooed or rinsed, or you can apply it throughout your hair before you blow dry when you've rinsed your hair in the shower. Another couple other ways you can use dry shampoo is you can use dry shampoo in your fresh style to add a little bit of dry texture to your hair. This is great for all hair types. Like this morning, I went through and put a little bit of wave in my hair, a little bit of texture, and I didn't want it to be super stiff, but I wanted to give it a little bit of extra volume and soft texture. So instead of using a texture spray or a hairspray or a building powder of some sort, I use dry shampoo. When you go through, you've gone through and styled, whether you blow dried and curled with your curling iron, or whether you've worked on diffusing your curls and now they're kind of set in place and you'd like just a little bit of a kick of a light soft volume or a light soft texture, this product is perfect for that. Bring it out, lift up your hair into the sections, kind of piece out some of the sections and lift it up through. Kind of spray them a little bit, get a little bit in there. And then when you get done, go through and put it in place. And you'll find that it gives you a little bit of volume, it gives you a little bit of texture without being too much. Then you can finish it off with a light hairspray to give you a little bit of that all day hold. Maybe you want a little bit of a light hairspray under here. But back here, you know what? In the back of my hair, I want to let it naturally do its thing with a little bit of really light volume support. Spray this throughout the back of the style and then use your hairspray, say in the front where you want to keep it off your face or any areas that are a little bit more troublesome. Then you don't have to use a ton of hairspray and feel like you have stiff hair all day. Another good thing I like about this is in the summertime when I feel like I want some of that dry texture, but I know it's going to be like a rainy day, or I know that I'm going to be a little bit more warm, maybe a little bit sweatier. I feel like if I start off with a dry shampoo, it helps to combat that a little bit. And then I don't have to have that sweat or that rain pairing up with the ton of hairspray that I have on my hair and making it like that gummy feel. That dry texture will help to support a little bit of that volume and maybe combat some of that moisture that's happening. So longer hair, curlier hair, textured hair. So you've gone through, you've blow dried, say it's first day hair. You've shampooed, you conditioned, you put your root product in, you've gone through and blow dried, maybe even put a couple of curls in, or if you have natural curl, you've gone through and you've applied your product and you've diffused it and it's almost there and you're like, I just want a little bit more kick. I want a little bit more lift and texture to the ends of my style. Say you take longer hair that you want a little bit more volume and texture to your curls. This product is perfect for that. Hold it back, lift out your hair, and just mist it in a little bit. Create a little bit of a mist of a texture. Go cautiously. Don't go all out right away. Apply a little bit, shake your curls around a little bit, and let them get fuller naturally. You won't have to have that sprayed in look. You won't have to have a ton of really heavy product, but it creates just a little bit of texture to that style that you've created. I feel like my sister Linda is a perfect example of this with her new style. We had posted pictures a while back with her type of curls. I feel like as we go through and diffuse them and as they finish up drying on their own, sometimes we want to loosen them up and create a little bit more volume in those curls because maybe they're a little bit lazier at times and we want to create a little more lift and volume. Or you have shorter hair and you have a bunch of curls in it, but you feel like they're to your head and you want a little bit more looseness and lived in feel. This product, the dry shampoos, especially this Fresh Effects from Euphoria, is great for that. That little bit of lived in feel to that freshly made style. And it just gives this, I guess the way I would describe it is it gives this haze of invisible support within your style throughout the day. And you can kind of go throughout the day and lift and move and shake around your hair. And it doesn't feel really heavy, but it gives it just a little bit of fluff and texture to that hair, allowing it to be a little bit more lived in as opposed to freshly prepped and styled. That's one of my main reasons I like to use dry shampoo, because it gives a little bit of that soft textured volume and fresh lived in feel to the hair. You know how when you go through your day and you get to the end of the day and you've come home from work and you've put your hands through your hair a little bit and you go to bed and you go into the bathroom to brush your teeth and you're like, wow, my hair looks really good still, because you've lived in it. You've moved it around. You've let it do its thing. That's what this does, I feel like. So I feel like if you don't, second day hair is not your thing. You don't want to do it. That's it. I'm not doing it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to do it. Maybe you don't look for second day hair. Maybe you look for that dry, natural, lived-in effect that dry shampoo gives you for your first day hair. Is this making sense so far? I would love for somebody to leave a comment, A, to know that you can hear me, and B, to let me know that I'm making sense. Because, you know, sometimes I don't. So, two other avenues I would like to talk about. Shorter hair that is a little bit finer, that doesn't like that everyday washed, super fine, soft hair. That fine hair where you feel like when you wash it, you have to build that texture back up in your hair. But that second day, you can't really just let it do its own thing. This would be a good option for you to try. With that second day, go through, spray it throughout a little bit, put it in place, especially with fine hair that you don't have to rinse the second day. You can just let it. Nice. Yay, I'm glad I'm making sense. Thank you for the feedback. When you have that finer hair, for that second day hair, you don't necessarily have to shampoo it, but you want a little bit of fluff to your style. Spray a little bit throughout the style, put it in place, maybe add just a light dose of hairspray, and away you go. And by the way, I'm extremely jealous of people that can do that, because I can't. I've got hair and curl and wave, and oh, it's kind of crazy. Let's talk about long hair. I know, for example, my cousin Tiffany, she's got really long hair, like down to the middle of her back. And we were talking the other day about different ways that she could put her hair up and explore different options with her long hair. When you're putting, and you're seeing it everywhere, there's all sorts of different types of braids. There's all sorts of different types of way you can incorporate braids. A lot of the more up-styled hair is actually got a more natural texture to it. It's not completely unique and uniform. It's not uniform curl. It's not a uniform braid. People like a little bit of natural texture. So if you have long hair and you're going to put it up and you're going to put it in a braid and you're going to loosen that braid a little bit, or you want a messy bun and you're going to do that messy bun, but you want it to be a little bit textured, spraying a little bit of this throughout your hair before you put it up will help to accentuate that natural texture and that slightly lived-in effect. I love to spray some dry shampoo throughout the hair, either after I've curled, before I put it up, or before I braid the hair, if I want a nice, natural texture, loose braid. Because you can spray just a little bit of this throughout, braid the hair, pull a few corners. I wish I had long hair to show you what I'm talking about, because I don't. Pull a few corners of the braid out, and then just leave it loose and textured. Say you go through long hair and you've created this braid. You spray a little bit of this in your hair before you create the braid. Then you create the braid and you loosen it up. You make that braid full and looser. Then you can just twist it, tuck the ends under, and have like this really cool braided bun at the bottom of your hair. And it won't feel as stiff and as natural, I guess not as unnatural as a fresh, stiff style. It'll be more of a lived-in, everyday wear that you can wear. And the dry shampoo will help you with that. So there's lots of ways. I'm reading my notes down here. I got all sorts of notes, reminders as to what I want to touch on. There's lots of ways that you can use it. Dry texture, soft volume, we talked about that, add in your style. Also, yes, as you go through your day, say, you know what, I've worked all day, my hair's feeling a little lazy, I want to do something different with it. In short hair, long hair, curly hair, straight hair, So maybe you didn't put it in the morning. You're not planning on doing second day. You just have your shampoo, conditioner, styling aid, and hairspray. But you want to go out tonight. You're going out to either an event, or you're going out on the town with the girls, or you're going out on a date or dinner with family, whatever, but you want to edit your style. You can absolutely pull out this dry shampoo, spray it throughout your style a little bit, run your hands through, and it completely gives it lift. I feel like if you go from the beginning of the video till now, even just me spraying it through a little bit, you can see how it's given my style a little bit more lift. So that editing your style throughout the day, dry shampoo can be an option for that as well. So those are a couple of ideas and a couple of tips for working with second day hair as well as dry shampoo. And remember, second day hair isn't for everybody, and not everybody's going to like a dry shampoo. Test out your dry shampoo before you use it. If you're able to, test out the dry shampoo, put it in your hands, and see how it feels on your hair. And if you're curious, I would love to have you stop by so that I can have you put this Euphoria Fresh Effects in your hands. Because I've sprayed it in my hand multiple times. I do not feel like I have any buildup on my hand. My hand feels, I can feel a little bit of the dry texture. I love the smell of it, and it does not feel heavy. I have to say, this dry shampoo is probably one of the only ones that I've actually used on a regular basis, and I've recommended to clients. So if you are a dry shampoo lover, let me know in the comments below. If you've used the Fresh Effects, I would love to hear back from you as to what you think. If you're interested in the Fresh Effects, let me know. We can get you some in, as well as any of these tips and tricks that seem to resonate with you. Leave a comment below. Let me know what else you'd like to see as far as these videos, any styling tips and ideas. I would like to set up a time that I can connect with my sister Linda and do a curly hair tutorial video to help people with curly hair understand how to style their hair a little differently. If you have curly hair and you're interested, stay tuned. If you have a different hair texture and you would like tips on how to support your style, let me know and we'll discuss. Very cool. I think I touched on everything I want. Everything I thought I needed. And if you look through this, like I put some through my hair. Oh, please don't pay attention to the grays. There's a few in there. Like you can't see a lot of dry texture at the scalp. So I sprayed some in this morning. I got up, I shampooed, I conditioned. I used a little bit of my Boost Light Spray Volumizer for the root. I blow dried, round brushed for a little bit of wave, and then I put a little bit of dry shampoo in. I applied that dry shampoo, I think at least twice in this video, and you cannot see fluff or powder at my root whatsoever. And I feel like I could easily run my hands through my hair and it wouldn't feel heavy. I feel like this is a great product. If you're looking to explore using a dry shampoo, this would be a great place to start. Thank you very much for taking time to watch this video. If you like it and you want to see more, add your comments, add your reactions, so that way I know this is working for us. And as always, if you have any questions, let me know. And have a uniquely beautiful day.